In this ride, we'll be returning to San Juan Capistrano on Ortega Highway, but this time traveling mostly downhill with lots of side roads, intersections, and oncoming traffic. Here are a couple questions to consider. When on a downgrade, what are the effects of gravity on our total stopping distance? How can we use our brain's executive function to reduce risk? So we'll keep it smooth, try to have as nice a ride going back. Don't think there'll be a huge issue with that, but you never know. One of the mantras I like to use before I swing my leg over and make any type of ride is this the day? Is this the day I'm not going to be paying attention when I need to? Is this the day that somebody's going to have a flat tire come into my lane? Is this the day I'm going to miss somebody running a traffic light? Mostly I'm worried about me more than others. I know other people can introduce factors, but if I keep my factors to a minimum, that means their factors don't add up quite as much, unless it's, of course, running a stop sign. That could be one factor that'd be disastrous. So a 45 mile per hour speed limit sign we just passed. I'm just meandering with the middle here. So we're back to turnouts again. A little bit better view so far. I like that. Nice big turnout here. Traffic behind's looking good, been checking that. Gonna stay to the outside of this, maybe back to the middle at the midpoint of the turn. 30 mile per hour turn coming up. Need to back off, going a hair over 40 at the moment, so I'll back down just a little bit. Middle. Just enjoying the ride. Not having to think about work or other issues might be going on. It's kind of invigorating to look for traps and escapes and figure things out, like a game of chess or something, see how things fit together and predict the future. So we put in the basic rider course, you know, see, play the what if game. What if this happened? What if that? Oh, here's our big sharp curve now, so roll off, don't need a brake. Nobody's behind me where I need to use the brake, just steady speed, but roll off just a hair. Get the speed down the recommended speed. Staying middle right now. Good spot to be. Give me a little wiggle room to the right or the left if I need it for some reason. Nice long turn on this one. Here we've got possible pedestrians back, and now we're going to, looks like the same thing to the right. So I'll slow to a good entry speed, make sure I can stop at the distance I can see around the curve. See a nasty guardrail on that side, even on this side. So. But I do have a decent shoulder going through that particular area. In fact, there's a nice shoulder right here. 3 feet, you know, can fit a motorcycle in without much trouble. Now I'm going to move to the right side of my lane because I want these people to see around traffic in front of them, to know there's somebody oncoming, just to create that awareness. A lot of these delineators, again, very helpful at night on the right side of the road. They don't help you a lot in the daytime because you can actually see the road, but at night, gives you an idea where there's curves or where there might be a narrow bridge coming up like that. There you've got that stationary marker that tells you it's a fixed object, and that arrow to the left means curve left, I suppose. Instead of having a curve left sign, they just have look that way, go that way kind of thing. A little shady area here, truck backing out over there. Could force somebody into my lane. I got escape right, but they moved up out of the way. Like to see that. So I'll move to the right here for all this oncoming traffic. Well, I certainly can't say you're alone on this roadway. Nice downhill grade here. A little bit right of center, because I don't want to get too close to the right, but I do want people to see me oncoming if they're in a line of traffic. 40 mile per hour curve left. So back off the throttle a little bit, have a good entry speed. Fourth gear is serving me nicely. I'm not picking up any speed when I roll off at all. I'm maintaining and slowing a bit, depending upon the nature of the grade. Here's a sharp one. I may use my brake just a tad bit here for a good entry speed. Looks like we got camping at 1,000 feet and a nice sweeper to the right again. So I'll just stay Right of center, sweeping through the turn, looking through the trees where I can, see if anybody's up there. Can see through them a little bit. Here's a right turn lane. It means there's an intersection and nobody's there though, good. Another left-hand sweeper here. All downhill, nice and smooth. May even have my ears clog up going down this hill here. Found out after years of riding, you know, when your ears clog up, you don't really regulate your speed as well, because it seems like you're not going very fast. You don't have the wind noise because you can't hear it. My particular method is to pinch my nose and breathe out and kind of unplug my ears, but don't need to yet. So I'm staying middle here, nice long curve. There's just basically no escape right. That was kind of scary there. Could be if somebody came over the center line. See way down the road here a bit, at least, you know, 15, 20 seconds if I look way around the bend over there. But I don't want to linger there. I want to keep my eyes tangent point, 8 to 12 seconds ahead, making sure I've got that 4-second path open. So eyes are always moving. It's kind of interesting. Your eyes move about 0.05 of a second. It takes to move from one point to the other. So keeping your eyes moving, you get a big sight picture. What you don't want to do is fixate on any one thing, especially in the distance, because you can't see what's going on in front. One thing we try to emphasize in the basic rider course and other of our rider courses is, you know, your vision's only a 3-degree cone as far as visual acuity. You got to keep moving your eyes. But more importantly is you got to have your brain telling your eyes what to look for. You may not see it. It's what they call inattentional blindness. If you have a chance to look at a YouTube video, I encourage you to look at one called The Monkey Business Illusion. Do a search, and it's about a 2-minute video clip. It's quite fascinating. Look at it with some friends of yours as a group. Don't say anything while you're looking at it. Just observe it and follow the directions on the screen. I think you'll find it quite fascinating, especially for those who've never seen a video like that before. Well, hopefully I was concentrating on my factors and traps and escapes. Here's a 30-mile-per-hour reverse turn, so I'm going to back off some while I was explaining that. You like to think you can have divided attention, but the experts tell you you really don't divide your attention. You switch back and forth. So the idea is you want to switch back and forth, tell your brain that's how you use your executive functions, what you make your brain think about. You want your executive function telling you to keep safety a priority. You can think about some other things, but you want to be quick to go back to that alertness for the safety. Space cushion, like this sharper turn I'm in right now, or this group of oncoming vehicles, or that truck that was on the center line, or that car that was on the center line. You're not doing it aggressively or flagrantly, it's just there you have a tendency, and it's an early warning sign, and on a road like this you want early warning signs. So here's a nice sweeper. It's like somebody opened the floodgates on oncoming traffic. Falling rock warning sign. Here we have reverse turns again, so I'll back off as we approach that. Maintain the middle with slight variation depending upon whether traffic's oncoming around a curve or if it's a rather straight line. I want to move to the right a bit to let people in the back of the line see me. There's a reverse turns. I had to wait though to see it was 30-mile-an-hour recommendation. So middle. You can maybe heard that vehicle. It was on the rumble strip. They got some rumble strips certain places here in the center line, so he was well over the center. Not a healthy sign, but I had room. You know, he didn't come way over, so we're not going to pass anybody. And here I think we might be out of the heavy duty stuff. Let's see here. We're opening up the view quite a bit now. I can see through the turn, don't see any oncoming traffic. We do have a turnabout if needed though, and still plenty of space behind me. So I'm doing about 40 to 45 now, rolling off a bit as I enter these turns, establish a good entry speed. Seems like the vision's a lot better going this way down the hill than it was going up. see around the bends a little bit anyway, although you probably couldn't see a small sports car or something hidden by the shrubbery. See a truck up here on the right. I'm going to stay back here to make sure it sees me, but not so far back it thinks I'm giving it a gap. We got a left turner here, so I'm watching. They're used to a line of traffic, so they're probably going to hold there. 45-mile-per-hour speed limit. Looks like we're back to 4 lanes again, but I see big trucks up here, so I'm going to hold this lane for a bit. See what materializes. We got a center lane for left turns either direction, although they have a dedicated left turn one here. 40-mile-per-hour speed limit, intersections. Nobody's on the right side behind me there. I'm going to hold here in case we do hit a red light, then I'll get by those trucks. So there's a left turning vehicle that caught my attention. That left turning vehicle that can turn left in front of you. Just identify those early and quick. Be ready to do something. Usually it would be brake and swerve to the right, or swerve right and then brake. So here's intersection, green light. These trucks are moving off. I'm going to change lanes to the right. Let's take a moment to answer the questions we posed at the beginning. When on a downgrade, what are the effects of gravity on our total stopping distance? Our total stopping distance is longer, so we must allow a greater margin of safety ahead. How can we use our brain's executive function to reduce risk? By using self-control and our ability to prioritize, we can ensure safety dominates our central thoughts throughout the ride.